I want to know your initial thoughts about, how they won, Texas as an opponent, just everything, just the game as a whole. What are your first impressions about the game?
I honestly looked at that game the same way I did the Penn State game. Of course, it came out differently, but I thought there were multiple chances in that game where Ohio State could have dominated Texas. Thought there were multiple times in that game, specifically in the first quarter, where Ohio State could have taken a double-digit lead by at least 10 points. I was in a pretty good space the other day, and cool guys in there. But I told him, I said, I didn't see the game as that close. I just think that it came down to yes, the score was close, but I mean, it wasn't like Texas was doing something specifically that was hard, that was stopping Ohio State, at least not in the first half. It became that in the second half, specifically in the third quarter. But I thought that Ohio State had probably 4, maybe 3 drive killers I thought they were going to score on in Texas territory. And then, I mean, but at the end of the game, that 108th ranked red zone offense showed up. And the number 2 ranked defense came in terms of the red zone. And Jack Sawyer made the biggest play of my lifetime.
Yeah. A lot of things to talk about from this game, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that we thought was going to happen ended up being correct. Texas didn't really stop Ohio State. Ohio State stopped Ohio State.
Yeah.
Because offensively, they were rolling, but it was penalties. It was stupid penalties that killed them. 3 consecutive drives. They had, penalties that put them behind the sticks. Personal foul with Trevion Henderson. They had a couple holdings in there as well. And because of that, they ended up having to punt because they were behind the sticks. It was 2nd and 20, 2nd and 25, 3rd and 18. It was just penalty after penalty.
It was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous, yes. And, as we mentioned before, we didn't think that Texas's defense was going to be able to really match up with Ohio State. I still believe that was kind of the case because if not for those penalties, I think they could have scored on all of those drives, quite frankly. What do you think?
I completely agree. I thought that the offense was rolling in the first half. Will Howard was throwing some questionable balls, but damn it, he was completing them and it looked good. There were throws that if CJ was throwing, I wouldn't be upset about. Those are throws that I have not seen him throw.
He was dealing, I thought, early on. I know there were a lot that were close, but he was feeling it.
I think the last few games have his confidence at an all-time high. I'm not mad at him for completing those passes. Like, I thought that was those are NFL type passes that he was throwing. Like, where you don't have a lot of room, there's half a second or even less than that to get the throw off, and you get it off. But I thought that more importantly, I think you agree with this also. We spoke about this. A lot of the questions people had were about the Ohio State offense, when in reality they should have been talking about how does Texas score. And going into the week, I expanded my score from 30 to 36 or 38 or something like that. But it was because I didn't see how Texas was going to drive the ball in Ohio State. I mean, the 2 times they scored is because for some odd reason we forgot to keep seeing the running back out of the backfield. Twice that happened. All the way down the field that happened. But outside of that, they couldn't move the ball.
On NCAA 25, a shark wheel. they kept spamming shark wheel.
But I mean, what was it? 8 drives that Texas didn't score on. That was just amazing. JTT. I mean, the way he played, he's been playing like that all playoff with Jack. I mean, to hurt his ankle, come back in, still do well. Good. Shout out to King Yada for playing the way he did. Jermaine Matthews, what a game! Yeah, what a game! I know he had a game because I didn't hear his name. That's how I know he had a good game.
And when you did, it was good because he was making tackles, he was staying in coverage, and
that pass interference was BS. That was complete bullshit. That was great defense by him.
I thought that was close.
You can't see where he when I see it, it looked like that wide receiver tripped, and he jumped ahead. He got out in front of it and tried to swat it down.
What it looked like to me was he pulled him. He used his other arm to kind of hook him and turn him, and that's what they throw. That's the flag they throw.
He didn't even turn.
Right there.
That was a terrible call. I mean, the one before that was just stupid on Ransom's part. I thought that Jermaine was gonna knock his head off on that play.
Yeah.
Quinn. Oh my gosh. But no, I mean the defense played really good. I mean, they held Texas to 14 points.
And you and I talked about the fact that we didn't think Texas was really going to be able to score on Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Nationally, it didn't seem like that was something that was much of a thought for them. And if speaking specifically to the defense, I thought they played outstanding football. The defensive line was putting pressure on Quinn Ewers. He wasn't able to step up in the pocket. It was just collapsing all around him. And he was tucking the ball early because he could feel that pressure coming from the outside from Sawyer, from JTT, even up the middle. I mean, Tyreek Williams had some good pressure. Ty Hamilton, even the backups, like Caden Curry got some pressure too. You mentioned Kenyatta already, so I thought it was a masterclass.
Curry also had that. He had that forced fumble on the punt. That was going to be a touchdown.
Look, they got lucky on a couple of those. They got lucky on a couple of those fumbles that just happened to bounce right back to them.
They did, but I mean that punt return is going to be a touchdown. I saw the forest from the trees, man. that he was like it was gone in that.
Yeah,
I want to let's talk about this because this is big. Texas did exactly what they should have done. They did exactly what they should have done, and everyone, maybe to this extent, no, but we all knew it was going to happen. And I think a lot of us kept saying, Cardinal Tate has to be the guy there. And outside of that drop touchdown, man, he played exceptionally well.
Yeah, that drop was bad. I mean, that hit him right in the hands. It was right here. It was bad, but he did make up for it later. And he got bailed out because Quinshawn scored on the very next play. But Texas saw what Oregon did, was like, we're not falling for that. We're making sure number 4 is not going to beat us. And quite frankly, I thought he could have caught that long ball on that first drive. I thought he just mistimed his jump. I thought it was a decent throw from Will.
Jeremiah?
And it went right through his hands.
That should have been a touchdown.
And he wasn't the only one. Emeka had a drop as well. There were drops from a couple guys. So I thought Will was dealing, like I said, most of the game. That interception he had was really bad. He tried to force it into Jeremiah. That was one.
He got excited. I wasn't even mad at him for that. You got excited. It was you haven't been past Jeremiah all game. It was somewhat of a deal, 15, 16 yards he was throwing. I'm gonna be honest with you. All game I was not worried.
I wasn't worried. I was definitely nervous on that. In the fourth quarter to start the fourth quarter. Because the third quarter was bad. We had some of those penalties. And also Chip Kelly kind of turtled. It seemed like the play calling turned into, okay, we're either going to run it up the middle or we're going to throw pass routes that are behind the line of scrimmage or parallel to the line of scrimmage. And those kind of plays just don't work against that Texas defense. I think he
was doing that to walk their defense up. I think that's why he was doing it, because we couldn't go deep all game.
Maybe. I don't know why he did it. What I can say.
That's the only reason I could get. Listen, that's just me trying to save face for him. Outside of that, I don't know why he would do that.